Hey you all, back again with another video. Welcome to Army is Able. If you're new here, I'm Army. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
So I have a story time for you all today. This is the story of a man who confessed to his wife everything on his deathbed and didn't die. So picture this, Pennsylvania 2024, 2004, 2005. I get called to a house and the kids want to speak with me and they sit me down and tell me what's going on. So I'm wondering if the patient had a spouse in the house, why did they need a home health aide? This time I was a nurse's aide because I was a nurse's aide before I went to nursing school and I worked as an aide through nursing school. Useless information. So they call me in and it's normally like you sit down and you get to know the aide before you hire them. But no, they were calling me in to give me the deal because this job was paying a little bit higher than what I was used to. I was very excited and eager because I needed the money. So I get in there and I sit down and they say, "Do you see that house across the street?" And I said, "Yeah, beautiful house." He goes, "We own that house too." Around 1960 something, 1970 something, the dad and mother purchased this house, and the dad had went to the grocery store one day and came back and told his wife how he met these two amazing young men, and they had a single mom and they seemed like they were down on their luck, and that he wanted to rent that house out to this family. So it was a mother, two sons, and they were working on their third child, and the wife was a stay-at-home mom taking care of the kids. The husband had a well-to-do job in construction, and she said absolutely. So over the years, the wife and the family, the three kids, and the husband befriended the lady that they rented the house to, and they become like family themselves. And the kids were always over across the street. The other boys that belonged across the street were over playing with their kids. They all took a liking to each other. They were all around the same age except for the youngest one that she was pregnant with when they initially moved this young lady across the street. And they seemed just like one big happy family. The wife, became like sisters with the young lady. They helped each other out. They cooked dinner, shared holidays together.
Sisters or sister wives? Because y'all already know that's what's given. Don't look at me like that. You know good and daggone well y'all spending too much time together. Yeah, I mean, of course, the kids are really good friends. That's awesome. But to spend every holiday together, like Shorty across the street don't got no family. She don't got no friends. She spending every holiday with the people next door. Cool. But I don't know. Let me stop being a little cynical. You know what I'm saying? And just listen to the story.
And just came really, really, really close. Um, and so every now and again, the mom didn't like that the husband was over across the street because she felt like, a lot of the things that were going on with the house was necessary for him to go over. They could have hired a contractor of sorts to go over and tend to some of the things in the house. But those were just passing thoughts, nothing that they put too much into. But the mom always had a suspicion. She just felt like he's over there entirely too much. And she just, it would cause not arguments, but uncomfortable conversations at times. So eventually, the kids got grown and moved out, and the lady ended up moving out of the house and went on with her life somewhere. They kept in touch, but it was very sporadic. So the kids, however, built these great relationships, and the kids kept in touch. Some of them went to college. I think they went to Penn State together, two of them, and they just, became friends, like siblings. Well, fast forward to when I'm getting there, the dad took ill, was having a stroke, went into the hospital, and wasn't doing well at all. They didn't expect him to make it, and they called in all the family, the kids, and the kids' spouses and things of that nature. And the other two boys that lived across the street showed up probably before his biological children actually got there. And the wife just kind of looked and thought that was odd, like, "Why are you here?" And the one was married and brought a spouse. And they're kind of,
I mean, it's not really odd if your children and the lady, the single mom with the three boys or whatever, however many children she had, if they grew up together and they've been close friends and they've went to college together, That's not odd at all. You know, I have really good friends that I've known since I was little. If something happened to their parents or their family that was in the hospital, I would be going too. Like that, ain't nothing wrong with that. Mama tripping a little bit, just a little bit. But him going over her house all the time, child.
Looking, and they seem to be very distraught, like more distraught than they should be for just him being the across the street neighbor and landlord. So as the other kids kind of trickled in, they were all there when the father said, "I want to tell you all something. I've been going on with this charade for some time." And they said it was like a movie. The mother of the two boys walks in at the end, and she seems distraught as well. But she had remarried and gone on. But the wife still didn't understand, and then the three children that belonged to this man still didn't understand how these folks got here and why they're here and why they're so upset. Why are they as upset as the children? Because it's been years since they've all had been together. The father says in front of them all, "I think that you all should know that those are my sons as well." He had those boys with that lady while he was married to their mom, and he never met her at the grocery store. It was intentional that she needed a place to live, and he said that he would provide for her and those kids until they were grown, and he did just that. So for the better part of 20 years, a wife shared a life with her husband's mistress and his children, along with her children.
I would beat that joker down. Your mistress, your whole little second family is across the street. Wait a minute, See, whatever happened to the good old days? You know, them grandmama and them time where a man had a family across town, maybe a couple states away, like a couple counties away, hours drive away. You had your mistress across the street. You got not one, not two, but three kids by this woman. She been in my house, eating my food, sitting on my couch, watching my television, and that's your mistress? And another thing, like, what about the kid? Like, how did y'all not see resemblance? And they're boys as well. So it's like, okay, y'all have sons. He got 2 or 3 other sons. You don't see no resemblance and mannerisms that are the same. They don't laugh the same. They don't have the same walk. Like, they don't do something quirky with their mouth or something that reminds you of your husband. Shorty knew. Now that I'm thinking about it, the wife knew. She just didn't want to know. Talking about some, oh, he over there. That's a bit odd. That's a bit odd. You know them was his kids. You just didn't want to admit it to yourself. Girl, stop playing. I just don't believe that. Matter of fact, back in the day, I was talking to a dude that was trying to deny his son. And I remember we went to the game and I was just looking at them two walk. I'm like, oh my God, y'all got the same walk, the same back of y'all neck and y'all head shape, everything the same. That's your son. Don't try to deny your seed, boy. And the dad, like the father in the situation, like, how you even going for that? Yeah, you messed up. Just selfish. Just plain selfish. 20 years, you had me being boo-boo the fool. Baby, if that stroke and that sickness ain't take your behind out, I would have had to sing you a lullaby. I would have put you to sleep. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding. Jokes. But that is terrible. How do you even come back from anything like that? But let's continue.
Her entire life. And whenever she would make up things like things were uncomfortable over there, he would make her gaslight her, make her think that she was crazy. And for 20-something years, this man lived a life where he comforted both of his family members. And then he didn't die. He had to go home with this lady, which is where I came in. I was there to care for him, but to also be a referee because the first 2 weeks he was home, she was whooping his behind. She was definitely a woman scorned. And my job was to ensure that I kept.
Now that's some Medea for your ass, okay? Like Dirty Mad Black Woman. Christina! Christina's gone. Your little tramp didn't leave any money to pay her, so she left. Boy, she was beating his behind in that movie. That's exactly what I would have been too. Beating his behind. Ooh, and then that lady across the street, ooh, she trifling. Oh, it would have went down in the hospital. Down in the ICU.
From her. And it was a job. I would wake up some nights because I lived in, and I would sleep overnight. I would wake up some nights to her with a pillow, trying to put it over his face, trying to push him out the bed. And she just, essentially for me, I would say she lost her mind. She was no more good. And eventually she got some dementia, and she ended up dying before he did, of a broken heart. She literally lost her mind because her entire life she lived was a lie. And this man had two separate families living across the street from one another, getting the best of both worlds.
Wow. She got dementia and died before he did. He drove her insane. She was trying to lullaby him to sleep with a pillow. Boy. Yo, that is crazy. Before that dementia would have took me out though, I would have made sure everybody knew what she was about. I'm like, oh, you married? Ha! Not for long. I'm gonna tell them how trifling you is. I'm gonna tell them how low down, dirty, and snaky you'll go. How you could live across the street from a woman for 20 years, know that you sleeping with her husband. I would have told her husband, oh, that's your wife? She for the streets. But now that I think about it, the kids trifling. The boys of the mistress, how long have they known that was their dad? If they came in there teary-eyed or whatever, that means y'all had to know. Y'all been had to know, or the mama just broke the news to y'all. And if the mom just broke the news to y'all, yes, you would feel some type of way. You got to go into the hospital, know that your dad is about to die and this is actually your dad. And I'm pretty sure the shock and the awe and the terror and the heartbreak and just the sadness is overwhelming. But if anything, the first thing I would have done is go over there and holler at my friends before I go in there and let the dad make this spectacle. I'd have been like, yo, I didn't know. Or I found out, today, or when I found out he was sick, that I found, like, my mother finally broke the news to me that that's actually my dad. There is no way I would have been cool with the person, a good friend, almost like a best friend, and I knew that her dad was my dad and I never said anything. I don't care what my mama say. It would have went down. It would have went down years on top of years ago. The moment I found out that's actually my dad, game over. So the kids of the mistress is just as trifling as they mammy. It's like the Lord calls you to forgive. He really do. But boy, oh boy, what? You would have to have the patience of Job. I'd have been like, Lord, this man about to come see you soon. I don't know what y'all would have done, but definitely let me know in the comments. Because I know I ain't tripping. This is some foul mess. If you like this video, if you enjoyed this little commentary, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely like the video. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't get violent, y'all. And this was a good little story. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.